To design the cornhole board for your exhibition project, make sure you use the guide located on your desk so you can follow the steps accurately. The first step, it says, is to go to the Start window and open up Sketchup. So you click on the Start window down on the bottom left, and you can type in Sketchup, and you'll see the steps icon pop up on the left. Go ahead and click that button and open up the program. On the top right, it'll say Choose Template. Click on that and choose Simple Template Feet and Inches. Then choose Start using SketchUp. Now the guide says to go to the View button in the menu bar and click on Toolbars and then check everything you have so you have every tool available. So View, Toolbar, and everything is checked. And then you press Close. I don't need these, so I'm going to move them to the side, but it's nice to have all of them as options just so you can see what's possible in SketchUp. Then the guide says, number 4, the image below shows my example of the cornhole board that you're going to create. So starting out, we actually don't need step 5, so we're going to go straight to step 6. It says click on the right side view, so we click this view button right here, which is right here. And you can see Flat Stanley here from the side. The blue axis is the up and down axis, and the green is left to right, and the red is front to back. Next, we're going to use the pencil tool. We're going to draw a line that's 1 foot tall, and it's going to start at the green line. We're going to drag it up, and then before we click to set the line, you're going to type in 1 foot and then press Enter. So I'll show you how that's done. So we're going to pan over so we can see our green line clearly. You can delete Flat Stanley if you want by using the arrow tool and dragging over him and then pressing Delete. Backspace doesn't work, you have to use Delete. You can pan up if you want and put the green horizon line right on where the ground meets the sky on the horizon, or you can have it down a little, it's totally up to you. So the pencil tool, we start off on the green line. Click 1 time and drag up. You notice if you go at an angle, the line turns black. That means your line's diagonal, obviously. Blue indicates that it's going straight up and down along the blue axis. Before you click, you're just going to start typing 1 apostrophe to indicate 1 foot. You can see down here in the measurement box, it'll tell you the size. And if you move your mouse, it changes the size. So 1 apostrophe. Now you see in the length box, it says 1 foot. Now press Enter and the line turns black, and that means you finished your line. You can see that the pencil is trying to ask where you want to draw the line next. You can just change tools to make that go away if you want. And then we're going to zoom in by using the magnifying glass tool, or you can use the wheel on your mouse to scroll in a little closer. Now, let's see what it says to do next. It says B, draw a 4 foot line at the bottom of the 1 foot vertical guideline. Use the pencil tool and click to start the line, and then type 4 feet, then press Enter. Alright, pencil tool. So we're going to start at the bottom. There's a green dot indicating you're starting right at the end of that vertical line, so that's good. So we click, we drag out, and you can see it's green. That means that we're going left to right, which is correct. If you have black, that means that you're going up at an angle, and your guide is not going to be flat on the ground. So if you accidentally do that, just hit Control-Z and go backwards. Pencil tool along the green axis. It might be hard to see because if you're even with the horizon line, it's going to blend in. So if it's green, you're correct. Before I hit Enter or click, I'm going to type 4 apostrophe. Now I'll check out the length in the bottom left window box, and it says 4 feet. I press Enter, and there's my 4 foot line. Next, we're going to make a vertical line on the right side of that vertical line. On the right side of that horizontal line. And that's going to be 4 inches, which is a little different. So we're going to use the pencil tool. We're going to click to start, and then drag it up, type 4, and then a quote mark, which is double apostrophe to indicate inches, then press Enter. So I'm already connected. I go up on the blue axis. I hit 4. I have to hold down Shift, and then press the quote mark, and then press Enter, and there's 4 inches. Next, we're on number 8. So we're going to group those guidelines together. This is the first time we've done this. The reason we're going to group them is because this is just a guide that we're going to end up deleting later. So We don't want to connect it to our board. It's just to tell us what angle that top board goes at. We're going to select all of them and then right click using the mouse and then choose group. Or you can select all of it. You can go to edit in the menu bar and you can click make group. Either way works. So arrow tool. Click drag over everything you've drawn so far. You can go to edit, make group, or you can select it all, right click, and now it's not letting me. There we go, make group. Excellent. So now if I was to move these lines, they move together as a unit. We're also going to do something else that's different. We're going to go to camera and we're going to turn off parallel projections. So that means that it made your drawing all the same size so that when things go back farther in space, they don't get smaller as they would in 1-point perspective. So we just took off the illusion of depth is what we've done. I'm going to go back to side view and we're going to pan over so that we can see our guide and we're going to check out what's next. So now it says number 9, draw the top of the board. We're going to use the pencil tool to draw a line across the top of the temporary guide. So all you have to do is start at the top and go all the way to the bottom. Now number 10, delete the temporary guide. All you have to do is select it because it's already grouped together. So arrow tool, select guide, press delete. So now you have the accurate angle and the accurate length of the top of your cornhole board. Next step is number 11. Add the sides of the top. Use the pencil tool to draw a line that's 1.5 inches tall on the right and left side of this diagonal board. To do this, use the pencil tool and click on the end of the line on the top left. Slide the mouse up, it should be blue. Type 1.5 and you want to use the quote mark to indicate inches by holding down shift and pressing quote and then press enter. And then you're going to repeat the same thing for the right side. Forgot the measurement, 1.5. Okay, so I go up, 1.5, shift, quote, enter. And then I need to get rid of this line because I don't need that line. So you can click on the arrow tool, or if it's still attached, you could just click and then press Control Z, whatever works for you. Then we're going to do the right side. So we have a blue line, which is great. That means it's going straight up and down, except if you look at the length, that's 8 inches. We want it to be 1.5. So I just type 1.5, shift inches, enter. Sweet. Now the next step is add the top. Use the pencil tool to draw one line across the top. My pencil tool is already connected to this endpoint, so we're just going to continue up until I see a green dot that says endpoint, and I click. When it fills in with the color, that means you've closed your shape. If it doesn't turn a solid color, then there's a gap and you haven't closed your shape, which means you want to zoom in and make sure that there's no holes in your shape. So now we're on to number 13. We have to extrude the top 2 feet out by clicking on the side of that rectangle we just drew with the arrow tool to select it. We're going to have to orbit around so we can see the board at an angle, and then you use the push-pull tool to pull it out 2 feet, as you see right here with the measurement tool. So we go to Sketchup and use the arrow tool, double-click to select the shape. Everything should turn blue, or you can click and drag over the whole thing. We orbit around. I'm going to zoom out some. And then to extrude a shape, you have to use the push-pull tool. And then I drag it to the right. And you can see in the distance in the bottom left, right now it's 1 foot 8 inches and 1/8 of an inch. So you can just type 2 apostrophe, enter. And now we have exactly 2 feet. Or the other option is you can select it, push-pull, and you can just drag it until the number turns to 2, which is sometimes a little bit hard to get exactly accurate. So I find it easier just to click 2 apostrophe enter, because it has to be exactly right. If you're an architect, measurements are really, really important. So now that we've extruded the top of our cornhole board, the next step is to go to number 14. It says click top view, and we're going to offset the top, which is something new. This is going to give us a guide so that we can tell where to put the feet and how wide the boards are going to be underneath it, as if it was see-through. So it says offset the top by 1.5 inches. First, use the arrow tool and double click on the top of the box. Then choose the offset tool, which looks like a backwards C and an arrow, and click on the outside edge and type 1.5 inches and click enter. This creates a box that's 1.5 inches smaller than the outside box. So I go to top view, which is the rooftop, zoom out so you can see it, choose the arrow tool and double click on your shape. Offset tool is right here. You want to click on any of the outside edges and drag it in. And the offset changes as you scroll your mouse, and in the bottom it tells you which distance it is. So right now it's 4 feet and 15/16 of an inch. We're going to type 1.5 inches. So shift apostrophe, so you get the quote double line to indicate inches, and press enter. Number 16. You want to go back to the right side view by clicking the house with the little fireplace, and we're going to make the sideboards. We're going to do this by using the pencil to draw a line going from the top of the board down 3.5 inches, as you can see right here in the picture. And then you're going to press enter, and then you're going to repeat the same thing on the right side. So side view, and zoom in, pan if necessary. We're going to choose the pencil tool, start right at the back, scroll down so it's blue, and the sides is 3.5, so you type 3.5 inches, enter. And then I need to get rid of this line. I don't want it to be connected, so you can choose the arrow tool to get rid of it, and then go back to the pencil tool. Go to the right side, drag down, and then again you type 3.5 shift inches, enter. Awesome. Next step. Draw a line across the bottom to close off the side shape. So you're going to go from here all the way down to the beginning. Pencil tool, endpoint to the endpoint. Now number 18. Extrude the side going underneath the cornhole board. So right here is a flat rectangle that we just drew, and we're going to pull it to the right, going 1.5 inches across. And then we're going to orbit so that we can see what angle we're at and how far we're pulling it. So we can select the board by clicking twice, orbit around. To extrude, you choose the push-pull tool, and you don't want to come out. You want to put the board underneath the top cornhole board. You let go, and you type 1.5 inches, enter, and it makes it the correct thickness for you. Now we're going to repeat that same step for the other side of the board. So you have two boards underneath the top board that are exactly 1.5 inches wide and 3.5 inches tall. .5 inches, enter. And I want to get rid of that connection and start a new line. Endpoint, I see the green dot. I scroll down, it's blue. 3.5 shift inches, enter. Then I connect the end to make a solid flat rectangle. If you orbit around, you can see that one is flat and one is 3D. I want to use the arrow tool to select that rectangle and then orbit so I can see what I'm doing. Push-pull it to the left so it's underneath the cornhole board. Let go of the click button and press 1.5 inches, enter, and now they're exactly the same. Next, we're going to repeat the same thing for the back. So the back one is going to be a lot shorter, but it's still 1